Hey everybody, I'm Paul Cruz, and Max Ziegfeld is with us today again, my co-host, and we're here to introduce this week's exciting new interview guest. It's JUDY TENUTA, the first female to win Best Female Stand-Up for the American Comedy Awards, and also two-time Grammy nominee. The legendary JUDY TENUTA is with us today. Welcome, JUDY.
Ooh. Hi! Oh, I like that intro, you guys.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you. I go anywhere where I'm worshipped. So
we are not worthy. We are not worthy.
Yeah. As you know, I tell women, women need to be worshipped as love goddesses.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
And you're the epitome of love goddess.
Yeah, I am the love goddess.
You are the love goddess.
Anybody else is a phony contender. You can't worry about. But yeah.
Well, how are you doing? You're in Los Angeles.
Excited! Oh!
Yes. I love the accordion.
I thought I'm with my guys. I got to strap one on.
I love any girl who can finger an organ.
Yeah. I love it. I love the Palm Springs Comedy Festival International.
Yeah,
and as you guys know, how much do I love Palm Springs? You know.
You really love Palm Springs.
I love Palm Springs because I am welcomed by all the gay men.
Yeah.
And also, as you know, Paul and Max, I'm very excited because last year, not quite a year ago, but it'll be a year in November, I received my star.
Yeah, that's right.
Stars. I'm so excited about that.
And I was very honored to be able to speak at your presentation and host your after party for the Palm Springs International Comedy Festival and announce your award for this year. And also, you're going to be getting a big award this year. You're going to be our Lifetime Achievement Award winner, and you're a legend. So
I'm a lifetime.
Lifetime of comedy.
I love it. I love it. It was so cute because you guys said to me, "Oh, are you nervous about that?" And I go, "No, I love that I'm not old. I love that I'm not a year older than God's pants. I love that I could still walk and maybe go pick it up, whatever."
Hey, listen, if people don't already know, you look amazing, and I mean, your body. Like, what do you do for fitness? Because you're so fit and thin. Like, what do you do to keep in shape?
Well, I know Paul is. Max. Paul is trying to act naive, but
no.
He knows true. I have a bucket of vodka and a pound of chocolate a day. Chocolate and vodka. You can't go wrong. I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. No. You know what? Honestly, it's really funny. In my family, I have 6 brothers. Most of them are overweight, and I've always been very, but I was lucky because they would steal all my food. So I stayed skinny, and I'm used to not eating that much. But Paul, as you know, we've been to lunch together, and I can pack it away when I'm,
Yeah. You have a healthy appetite, but your body is like a 20-year-old. Like, it's amazing.
Look at it.
Yeah.
Max. Wait. Okay. Woohoo!
Oh my God! Oh!
I'm gonna do that song. WAP.
Yes.
You got a bag full of mac and cheese up your
mac and cheese.
Oh yeah. What are you singing about? What is that WAP? What does it mean? At first I thought, God, that's a little bit of a slur,
I don't know if we could say it. It means
a wet. I don't know what's the A stand for.
It's wet ass kitty cat.
Oh,
wet ass kitty cat. Yeah.
Wet ass kitty cat.
Why? What Why?
I'm a cat lover.
It's Cardi B. I don't know.
She's a lot of fun. I will say that.
Yeah.
Sounds like it.
Sounds like it, right? Max is right about that.
Yeah.
Someone with chain water, she just lets it all out.
Yeah.
Oh, honey, she's got it all out. Well, we know hers is wet because she just popped one out.
Oh.
Yeah.
She popped one out in the middle of a music video. Good for her. Good for her.
Well, not only do you have a star here in Palm Springs, but you also have a star in Vegas.
Yes, I do, and it's just an honor. But the one and I'm not trying to lessen the value of the one in Vegas because I love it, of course.
Yeah, it's amazing. I walk by it all the time. It's right in front of Paris.
Yes, that's right, the Paris Hotel. And that was my first one. I got that in 2018, and as you know, I got yours in Palm Springs in 2019. And the interesting story about that, as you may know, I wanted to get the Palm Springs one first, but it got a little bit. I forgot what happened, and anyway, they said, whoever was in charge at the time said, "Listen, we can give you a star on the Walk of Stars in Vegas, and then the next year." So that's exactly what happened. The next year, I got the one in Palm Springs, which Palm Springs means a lot to me because I started working there and had so much fun. Do you guys remember a club named Heaven?
No, I just moved here.
Okay.
Well, I still live in LA, but I moved to this house. I go back and forth.
No, I understand. Well, that was all the way back in 2006, in the 2000s.
Okay.
2006, even before that. And I did a big New Year's Eve show.
Wow, really?
2005 and going into 2006 at Heaven. And it was so great. It was like a big disco.
Wow.
It was great. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Cool. That sounds cool.
Yeah. And so I've done a lot of shows there. I mean, that was just one memory, but then I worked that club a lot. And then, of course, I would come back and I can't even remember all the places I worked,
But what was the first place you played in Vegas? The first time you headlined in Vegas?
It's now not there anymore, but the Sahara.
Oh, yeah, the Sahara was cool.
And I have to tell you a funny story. I was at the Sahara Hotel, and they didn't tell me that Steve Wynn was coming to see. Yeah. So I'm doing my show, and I go up to this guy and I go, "Hey, how you doing, pig?" And, and no, this is funny. And he was with a younger girl. I go, "Oh, is this your wife?" And he's like, "No, this is my daughter." And I go, "No, listen." And he goes, and I go, "Oh, it's your daughter." Yeah, how many times have I heard that? And he goes, "No, it's really my daughter."
This time.
Yeah.
Judy,
he says, "Judy, this is my daughter, Kevin." And I happen to know, just from reading, that Steve Wynn has a daughter named Kevin. So I go, "Oh my God, Your Majesty, I'm so sorry. I didn't know you were coming to my show." And he was laughing his ass off.
Oh my God. That almost sounds like a joke. "This is my daughter, Kevin."
I know, right? I was waiting for another reveal.
"Kevin, did you have to grow balls for that name?"
Oh.
And she said, "No, I have them anyway." And I go, "Yeah." I know that there was recent, or I don't know, whatever. I always loved Steve Wynn. He was always great to me. And I really like him. And, after that, he would invite me to did you know he had a really beautiful art collection? And yeah. And he said, "Judy, come to my art collection. I know you love Van Gogh and all of the, artists from Montmartre, like Degas and and oh my God, it was I just loved it. So he was really nice. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So I don't know what people were taught. I don't want to even go into what they think they.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, your turnout here in Palm Springs when you got your start was huge. I mean, it was enormous.
Oh, you're in Palm Springs?
Yeah, when you got the star, your turnout, the crowd that came was huge. For you.
I don't know if you noticed, but when I was starting to give my acceptance speech, I was getting a little teary.
Oh, I didn't know.
Because I was so excited. I was so happy. And, it was just, it's exciting. You got to think about how many people get to have that, right?
Not many.
Not a lot.
Because you started when? When did you start doing stand-up?
Well, as you know, I was only 5.
And now you're 35.
Torturing the nuns.
I was Sister Godzilla. Godzilla got mad at me, Max. I gave her a shaving mug for Father's Day. But, no, I started in really 1979, and in Chicago, my hometown, which I love. And I was very lucky because that happened to be the start of the comedy boom. So there were comedy showcases everywhere. Zanies, the Comedy Cottage, the Comedy College, Byfield's. I loved Byfield's because it was at the Ambassador East Hotel. Gorgeous,
Wow. Fancy.
And so
was
many.
The Playboy Club still around? Was the Playboy Club still around then?
Yes. Oh my God. That was in 1979. And oh my God, I was so thrilled. Hugh Hefner, I got to meet Hugh Hefner.
Oh, really?
Oh, he was so nice. Yeah. And I did well, listen, and a couple years later when I started to get really famous, his wife at the time
which one?
What number?
Was a big fan of mine, and they were going to have a charity, and she got in touch with my manager because she wanted me to host it. So I hosted a charity over there for.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, at the Playboy. Listen, honey, I don't care if you're gay, straight, trisexual, bisexual. Everybody wanted to go to the Playboy Mansion.
Fabulous.
I've been there. It's amazing. Yeah.
I've been there too.
It lives up to all of its hype.
Yeah.
All of its mythology, everything. It's just great.
Yeah. The grotto, the little pool grotto.
The grotto. Oh my. Yeah. But I'll tell you a funny story about that.
Okay.
All the way back in, I want to say, oh, shut the, oh, excuse me. Can I say?
Sure. It's the internet.
Oh, what happened to me, honey?
What?
Can you still see me?
Yeah. I see you.
Okay. That was my stupid phone. I got a call. Can I turn my phone off?
Yeah. You can put it off.
So
that way your booty calls don't get in. You don't.
Right?
What is a friend doing? They know that they should call me during the day. I tell don't call me at night when I'm about to get a hit on something.
Who is it? Is it Weird Al calling you?
Oh, of course. How much do I love him?
Weird Al.
I love Weird Al.
Love him. He's a genius. That guy.
Did you do a video with him?
Yeah, I did a few videos. I did White and Nerdy. I played his girlfriend in that. I did the one why can't I think of the name of it? But it's the one where he made fun of the girl who broke her legs for ice skating.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name of the video, but I want to play
Tonya Harding.
I played Bobbitt.
Oh, okay. Oh, you played Lorraine Bobbitt. Yeah.
Yeah. She cut off his
penis.
Yeah, she cut off his wanker.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got to do that. I also did something else with him. Anyway, but I've done. Oh, most importantly, I did the Weird Al show where I got to play. I got in 1997. I got to play Madam Judy. It was a morning show, almost like Pee-wee's Playhouse, but
Oh, wow.
CBS didn't know how to handle it, but it was so much fun. I got to be Madam Judy, and it was
You were like a clairvoyant or like a psychic or a...
Yes, I was a psychic, and my hook was, I go, ooh, I'm Madam Judy, come closer. I can predict the present. Ooh. Well, it was so funny. Al would always come in to come and see me. And of course, I would tell him like things like, oh, I see that you are wearing a green shirt. And he would go, no. Because it was blue. No, it was really fun. It was so much fun.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it was great. I love him. You know that. Just like, but you know, there's certain people that I love Joan Rivers because she was such a mentor to me. She was really great when I was starting out, and she put me on every single one of her shows.
Wow.
She put me on her morning show.
Wow.
Joan Rivers show. She put me on her Fox show at late night.
Right.
And so it was great. Yeah.
I think we have a clip of that. You were a frequent guest on her shows, and you loved.
She had me co-host with her.
Yeah.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
Oh, it was great.
Maybe we should cut the clip of that. You want to show a clip?
If you want, yeah,
that'd be great.
This week, we have been talking with some of the country's most popular comedians. Today, we're going to be talking with a woman who said in this week's TV Guide that the reason the Bob Costas show didn't air the PC was because it wasn't boring enough for his show. She is so funny. I think she's a right. What? Well, just look at this. Okay, take a look at this tape.
She's not really fat. She's big bone. Retaining Boston Harbor.
Please welcome the goddess of love, Judy Tenuta.
Yes.
Look at that intro.
Oh, yes. Sarah, lay down. Come on.
My son puppets are cute enough not to wear masks. Okay? Kneel down. Oh, they don't take orders. Why I never think of you and your humor as being attached to the accordion. You know what I'm saying? Even though you've always had it.
Oh, yeah, but see, it's an instrument of love and submission. Yeah. In fact, no, see, we got to talk about Bob Costas.
Yes.
You know,
why? What happened? I know you now, about 4 years, right?
Yeah.
And suddenly I pick up TV Guide, and there it is, you're having fights with everybody. What happened, Bob Costas?
You're having fights. Well, this is the thing. He asked me, he says, Judy, you know, because I'm Judy and I have my own religion, Judaism.
Yes.
Okay. And he says, Judy, how can I be a love slave? Oh, like he wasn't ready, you know. I said, you know, just kneel down, put on this Dr. Ruth safe sex cap, and play the accordion. And I sat on his lap, and can I help it if his dolphin was dancing? You know? I cannot help it if I'm a petite flower and he's begging to pollinate me.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Do you remember that?
What's that?
You've done so many shows. Do you remember that?
Oh, what do you mean? That was one of the highlights of let me just tell you how people like to know the backstory. She is so generous. First of all, she invited my mother to be on the show with me.
Oh, wow.
And she put us up in the Plaza Hotel.
Wow.
And it was my mother, you know, I love that gift for my mom, because how many moms get to stay with their daughter in the Plaza Hotel and then be on Joan Rivers, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
So then we go. This is the best thing about Joan. She didn't just have like a, what do you call it when they have the table with all the,
craft services.
crafts. Oh no, forget that. That's way beneath Joan. She had a full blown like dinner.
Wow.
Oh, I go, Joan, how am I going to do the show? You're giving me all the, I mean, oh my God. It was like, everything you could imagine. I can't.
Really?
Yeah, I go, by the time I get to the stage, I'm going to look like Roseanne.
You do a great Roseanne, by the way.
You do a great Roseanne impersonation.
Yeah. Well, she gets, you guys, I lost weight and crap, but I still got a blowhole.
Oh!
You sound just like her. I've seen her a couple of times live and in person as well. But you sound just like her. It's amazing. You got it down.
Well, thank you. I mean, it's fun,
Do you have another like personal story of Joan Rivers you could share with us that you remember that you really haven't? Like a private moment?
This is really juicy.
Okay.
This is really juicy. I will never forget this. This was the year 2000. I remember the dates and everything. And it was about September of 2000. It was beautiful. I went to meet her in New York City. She said, Judy, come, we'll go have lunch. And she had to fly around a lot because remember she had that QVC. She sold all that jewelry. So later that night, she was going to fly to England. But anyway, that was really sweet of her. She wanted to, she invited me to lunch. So we go to lunch. And she said, and we were talking. And she was just saying, Judy, you should have more exposure. But I really think it would have helped you. And I mean, between you and me, it would have helped you if you were a lesbian.
Oh my God.
I go, oh my God, wait, is it too late? Where's Ellen?
Well, your very first HBO special was with Ellen DeGeneres.
Yes. And by the way, in those days, she was very nice, I will say, during the HBO, she was very nice. But
I thought she was nice to you because she wasn't nice to me. And I
remember because she was already famous. Don't forget, when I met her, I was more famous than she was.
Oh wow!
There
you go.
So she was going to be nice to me, right?
Yeah. I was a nobody.
And she was very nice to me. I don't remember who she was with, a girlfriend. I'm not sure who. At the theater, and we were. She was very sweet.
Well, I worked on her show for 3 years, and she never.
See
that. Not once did she acknowledge me or say hi to me. I would stand next to her.
Yeah, and, I heard that.
I would say hello, or I would say.
Heard that from so many people. Do you know a writer named Sue Kowinski?
No, I don't. Yeah, okay. No.
Well, she worked on the show. Every person I know that worked on the show says it was a nightmare.
I worked on her sitcom on Ellen, the sitcom. I didn't work on her daytime show. Is it? She was a writer on her sitcom?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
No, on the talk show.
Oh, okay, yeah, that was later.
She said it was pure hell.
Yeah, and it was so upsetting because like it kind of broke my heart a little because I always loved her and I used to watch the show and I was working on her show the last 3 years before they ended it, and when all the celebrities were on, Oprah and everybody was on there and Billy Bob and everybody, and she would just, I would say good morning to her, she would just ignore me. Like I would see her 4 or 5 days a week, and I would stand next to her or sit next to her in scenes and stuff. She would just say, like, she wouldn't say hello, good morning.
Maybe she's shy. Like I know people that are so shy, they can't interact unless they already know someone. They're just very painfully shy.
No. Make an excuse for her.
I think if somebody says good morning to you, like I wasn't looking to interrupt her, her day.
You always acknowledge.
Yeah.
You always acknowledge.
Yeah.
That is not shyness. That's snobbery.
Yeah, that's kind of rude. Yeah. But anyway, on a lighter note, so getting back to your comedy, like what made you decide you're gonna do this? Like you're gonna do comedy?
Well, if you came from my family, I had 6 brothers and a sister. I couldn't even hear myself talk until I graduated from high school. I went to college, University of Illinois, and I went into the theater department.
Okay.
I started doing plays, and I go, oh my God, people can actually listen to what you say. And but then it was very difficult because you know how difficult auditions are. And I flew to New York when I was only 19.
Wow.
But it was a really great learning experience. And I go, well, wait a minute, this isn't turning out like Goldie Hawn. So then I was lucky because then I moved back to Chicago. That's when, and so many people said to me, Judy, you should do your own act.
Really?
Because I would be at an audition and I would make people laugh and I could imitate people that were, I could just imitate them, and they said, why don't you just do your own act? You hate going to the auditions, and let's face it, it's you know what I mean? It's there's 500 people there. So just come up with your own voice. So I just did it. Well, you know what really happened? When I moved, my mom said, Judy, you're taking your accordion with you. And I said, no, I can't do that. I'm grown up now. I'm 19. I can't take the accordion. She goes, Judy, you will thank me.
She was right.
Yeah. And my friend Joyce, who was my roommate, she was, Judy, you really need to put the accordion in your act. It's fun.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
That's what happened. And I would go on stage and you know what's great about it? It's always a way to be identified. I was always identified.
Yeah.
And of course the way I speak and everything. But so
But you're one of the few comedians who actually created this like a character.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did you start out with this character persona or did that develop?
Well, no, I always came up. I was always like, oh, God.
Oh my.
No.
Okay, it's off now.
Ha ha!
I always came. I was a petite flower. Oh, and and I would come up with the accordion. And in the early days, I made up really stupid songs. It was, oh my darling, please surrender. I am, it was just funny. And I would talk about, because I'm young, I would talk about things from my childhood and you have to develop your material. So that's what I did. And
did you know you were going to develop this character that was bigger than your own identity as Judy Tenuta?
What I learned is, believe it or not, everybody's character, even when you talk about Jay Leno, people just think Jay Leno is Jay Leno. No. When he's doing his monologue, it's different. I know Jay off stage.
Right.
He still sort of talks like, Judy, but everybody's persona gets magnified.
Right.
Well, mine was just magnified a little more, Yeah.
But you were more than that. I almost kind of compare you to like Paul Rubens and Pee Wee Herman, because you had like this, you always had an outfit that was like a flashy dress. You had flowers in your hair. You had an accordion. Yeah. You had this title of love goddess. Like, how did you know that early on that was going to be your persona?
Yeah, I mean, petite flower. I have many titles. I am petite flower, giver goddess, fashion plate saint, earth mother hostess, geisha girl, buffer of foreheads, healer of hermaphrodites. Blesser of bunions, queen of candy pants, empress of Elvis impersonators. I have a lot of titles.
Oh my
They're
God.
all in my book. The Power of Judaism.
Ah,
And people don't know that you're an author. You wrote a book, and it's a great book. People
Two
should buy it.
books. The other book, Full Frontal Nudity.
ah.
You've got these great books, and they should go to your website, JUDYTENUTA.com, and check them out because they're amazing. But your career is so diverse. Like,
Now, when did you develop your catchphrase? Because I love I say it all the time.
Well, it could happen. No, I was doing my show. You know, it's really from going to the nightclub, and I made it up at Zany's. I was doing a show. I'll never forget. I was doing it, and I'm telling a story. I'm telling, a joke story.
Yeah.
And of course, we all know that jokes, in order to get a laugh, sometimes are exaggerated. We exaggerate the truth, right? So I'm doing, and I get to the end of the joke. I forget what it was, and some guy goes, "Oh, come on!" And I said, "It could happen." And everybody
fell out.
laughed, and I go, I have to keep doing that. So, but I have several ones like that one. I have, "Oh, you cannot possess me."
Yeah, you cannot possess me.
And
then when your car was still, you couldn't pay for your car. They tried to they couldn't repossess you.
That's right. No, they could not repossess me.
That's it.
Well, when Max and I have conversations, we're constantly saying
all the time.
It can happen. Like almost
Every day.
We say it almost every day. It's like,
well, you want to know, especially in Hollywood, because as you know, in Hollywood, everyone hypes up their image more than it is. We all know. I mean, how many times I will never forget, even last week, someone wanted me to do something on it was like Cameo. This guy called me out of the clear blue. I didn't know who he was. And he started, "Well, now I'm doing this big TV show and I'm blah, blah, blah." And I go, "So why are you calling me at noon?" You know what I mean? So he was making up, and I'm going, "Yeah, that could happen."
Yeah, Max and I use it almost every single day.
It's true.
How many times it's so appropriate, especially in show business in Hollywood, because everyone is talking about whatever their credits are. It's always a one-upmanship. Like someone, I got to almost work with Robert De Niro, except he didn't know who I was.
Yeah.
It can happen.
It can happen. But I got to meet, and this is really true, I did Night of 1,000 Stars in New York City in 1990 at the beautiful Radio City Music Hall. And one of my favorite moments has lots of stars.
Yeah.
Oh, so I love those shows.
Oh, and you know what was so great? I was always amazed at how many people knew me. Like Olivia Newton-John, this little angel, she'd go, "Oh, Judy, I'm so glad I'm not on your bad side." I go, "Excuse me, you're Olivia Newton-John. You can never be on my bad side."
Yeah.
To shape up. Ooh, ooh, ooh. No, you can never be on my bad side.
Yeah.
You don't have anything to worry about. And then while I'm saying that to her, right behind us in the CP is Luther Vandross, what a voice. And he's laughing like, you're crazy. Oh, I love that guy. Anyway.
Amazing voice.
And Susan Lucci, sweetheart.
Yeah.
Everybody was, but here was my favorite moment. I did my bit. I did what I was doing on stage. I was introducing something. Then they say, afterwards, you have to go. There's a big, huge elevator, and it can fit like, I want to say at least eight people comfortably. So they said, "Listen, you're going to get in the elevator as soon as you're done, and the other celebrities who have done their appearance will also come in with you, and you'll all go up we'll take you up to the green room." Okay. So I mean, I don't know who's going to be in there with me. So I go in there. Oh, by the way, it was very exciting because I got to bring 2 guests. So I brought my brother and sister, and their jaws were dropping.
Costco?
Oh my God. Oh my God. There's Olivia Newton-John. Oh my God. There's Susan Lucci. Ah, there's Katharine Hepburn. Ah.
Oh my God.
Katharine Hepburn. Oh my God.
They were going nuts.
Katharine Hepburn.
So this is the best part. I get into the elevator. Then who walks in?
Who?
You're okay. This is too great.
Better than Katharine Hepburn?
I know, Katharine Hepburn. I'm like,
She was chair. You know, no, she didn't come. No. Muhammad Ali.
Oh wow.
oh,
Yeah.
And he of course has an entourage.
Yeah.
He had like 2 or 3 bodyguards with him.
Yeah.
Right away, I was like intimidated, but I really wanted to get his autograph. You know, Muhammad Ali. Come on. He's a freaking legend.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So here's
float
what
like a
I'm
butterfly, sting like a bee.
wait, that's not good enough. The exact opposite side of the spectrum, Walter Cronkite.
Oh!
So
Oh!
wait. On one side of me is Muhammad Ali. I'm scared. I'm of course worship. I don't know what to do. And then on the other side of me is Walter Cronkite. So everybody was really quiet. And there were other people on, like bodyguards and stuff. And I go, oh fuck, what's gonna happen? It was so quiet. Finally, Muhammad Ali looks at, this is the truth, looks at Walter Matthau and says, man,
Walter Cronkite?
I'm sorry, Walter Cronkite.
Yeah.
And, man, you just called me and wait. And Walter Cronkite goes, oh, and then Muhammad Ali bursts out laughing. Everybody's on the floor. He knew exactly how to break the ice.
Oh yeah, he was fucking with him. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We all hugged each other.
And what were you thinking?
Well, I knew that within 2 seconds, I knew he was joking.
Oh, yeah.
But
Would have been like,
he said it dead serious.
yeah. I would have been intimidated for sure.
Walter Cronkite. And Walter Cronkite. And then Muhammad Ali.
He could have given him a heart attack.
No, but it was the greatest. Because that's how much of a genius he was.
Yeah.
He figured out, I got to break the ice. What's the best one?
Yeah.
I will never, as long as I live, forget that.
That is hilarious. That's
unreal.
I know you're not.
right.
I am actually quoting what he said.
Right.
So I had to, for you to, what a story, right?
Yeah.
And he was so wonderful. And so was Walter Cronkite. And I got there. Anyway, yeah, so that was very exciting for me.
Amazing.
That's a great story, isn't it? I mean,
yeah. So you had all these crazy, wonderful experiences, and then your career built and built and built. And I want to show a clip of you. You won the bet. You were the first female to win the best stand-up comedian award at the American Comedy Awards.
that is correct. And once you win, you can't be nominated again. So then it's yeah. So the next year it was other people who hadn't won. So I'm not in the competition because otherwise I would have kept winning.
But that was huge. So at what point in your career were you were, I mean, at what point in your career did that happen? Because that's huge.
That was 1987, that clip where George Carlin, or was it 88? I'm sorry. It was either 87 or 88. I had just done my first HBO special. Then my favorite, I got to do the iconic Diet Dr. Pepper commercials.
Oh yeah, that's
those are amazing.
Those were like mini movies. They don't make commercials like that.
Oh no, the production value on those were amazing.
And genius writing. It was so great. They're like mini movies. They're little 1-minute movies. They're just, I was so proud of those, so honored you know,
Yeah.
and so
How long did you have to play clubs before you got like a break? How long did you like just doing stand up in these little clubs before you got to?
I'm going to tell you something. You know what? It really helped me getting a good manager in New York City, and he saw. I would go to Caroline's Comedy Club.
Yeah,
Already had a whole act together, and Stephen Wright. No, you know who helped me? Okay. On not SUV, SOV. What is it? SUV. Oh.
SNL.
No. Richard.
Pryor.
Belzer.
Oh, Richard
Belzer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Richard Belzer saw me at Caroline's.
Yeah. Okay.
And he spoke to Caroline, and she said, he said, would you let Judy do some time? So I went up on stage and I killed. And then she had me open for Stephen Wright.
Wow.
And then I got I headlined. So then people from HBO saw me, and that's how I got to be on Women of the Night.
Yeah.
And then also I got my manager really helped to coordinate getting me the Diet Dr. Pepper commercials.
Well, let's take a look at Women of the Night. That was your first big comedy special, and it included Rita Rudner, Paula Poundstone, right? And
Yes.
and yourself.
Oh,
And it was huge. It was
All women.
and everybody went on to these big careers. And and let's take a look at a clip from that now.
yeah.
Hi, pigs. You know, my name is Judy, and I have my own religion, Judaism. Yes, soon you will all be my personal love slaves. But first, let's go back in time. You know, I'm trying to lead a normal life. So just now, I was on this airplane to Europe. It can happen. And there's this guy sitting next to me. Looks like a squid in stretch pants. So, you know, I'm ready to spawn. So this squid in stretch pants is trying to make me talk to him. Yeah, just because he paid for my trip. How much can I give? I ask you, stud puppets. So then he starts puffing on a cigar the size of God's ego. And he's blowing this cigar smoke in my petite flower face. And I said, excuse me, but if I wanted to shorten my life, I'd date you.
Oh my God.
I think I'm better now, but you know, I was just.
Yo, that was awesome.
I saw you at the Palm Springs Festival, but you said 2 years ago, you were on fire.
Oh yeah,
on
you
fire. And
remember, that was like I said, that was like how many? That was back in 1988, 98, 2008, 2018. I could be my own daughter.
Oh my God. Now, how do you think the comedy is different now than it was back then? Do you think stand-up is different now?
We don't analyze comedy. Here's I can't analyze everybody's comedy. No, but everybody evolves. So I still have that. Whatever. And then of course I'm a little. You know, I've evolved. So I'm not still like, yeah. No, I do. I like, oh yeah, pig, and things like that.
I loved your opening. Hey, pigs or whatever. That was great. I love all that.
No. Well, what's funny is the dichotomy, right? I figured out, here I am, this petite little pretty girl. I'm not ugly, but I was a petite little pretty girl, and I thought, it's going to be much funnier if I
rough it up.
If I'm tough.
Yeah.
If I'm sweet but then tough.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I just pigs.
Yeah, because it's unexpected. It's unexpected, and it really jarred the audience.
It's also it's like a parody. I think that's why gay men like me. I'm doing almost a parody of the female psyche. In other words, no. I'm taught to be so polite. I'm just a little flower, but I really want you to die, pig. Not die, but I really need you to worship me, pig. So you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why I think the gays caught on right away with that. I also know that women loved it because that's how women were feeling.
Yeah.
And it didn't matter what kind of woman. It could be a wife, a middle-class woman, an upper-class woman, a black woman. You don't know how many times at the airport I would always crack up. It was going through the security, and it's so funny. I would always get recognized, and the security, and no offense, but they're always black women. So I was just always amazed. I know you. You ain't getting away from me. I know who you are. Yeah. You give it to us on the TV. You give it to us.
Yeah, you gave it was like women empowerment. When you came on the scene in the 80s, there wasn't a lot of women empowerment as a whole. So when you came on the scene, you were like this tough but petite and fragile, but you had that hard and soft edge, and I could see women really relating to that because you kind of gave them a voice that they didn't really have at that time.
Yeah. I mean, I'm expressing what women are feeling, but can't always say out. Like I used to say, on my album, my first album, Buy This Pigs, I said, yeah. I go, because it was only 8 years before that, and I hate to bring this up because it breaks my heart. As you know, John Lennon got assassinated, and that always broke my heart. So I would say this line, and I go, yeah. So I'm doing this show, and this guy was kind of a pig, but anyway, I'm just thinking, I was doing the joke. I was saying something about Yoko Ono, and I said, yeah, Yoko was in, and I was just thinking, if that guy would have aimed a little to the left, he would have been a hero. And everybody's going, whoa! And I go, come on, you thought it, and I said it. So that was like the kind of that was like a summary of what I was doing, kind of.
Yeah.
Well, you used to set it up by singing like
I
her.
really shouldn't be analyzing my own comedy.
You should leave that to everybody else. Yeah.
No, they don't. They don't know anything.
You hadn't been doing stand-up for a long time though before you did Women of the Night, right?
I hadn't. Oh yeah.
Had you?
Sure.
Oh, okay.
8 years.
Oh wow.
Okay.
I was in Chicago developing my character, working 3 shows a night. I opened for Jay Leno, which was so great, in 1980 at a big famous comedy club in Atlanta called The Punchline. I loved Atlanta because they had a lot of it was so funny. They had a lot of gay, gay drag clubs, and everybody in Atlanta, let me tell you, is a fucking stripper.
Ha!
Everybody's a stripper.
Nice.
Oh my
As
God.
soon as we were to land in the airport, whoever would pick the limo driver go, hey, and they have that song, hey, Judy, before I take you a hotel, we got to go to this strip club.
I love it. I love it.
I am not kidding you.
True
I saw
story.
the world's oldest stripper. She had to be like 85.
Really?
God, and she's still stripping?
Oh, it was so funny. I couldn't stand it.
I love strippers.
Well, it's an education because I grew up this little Catholic girl with, very sheltered.
Yeah.
And I go to Atlanta and we're going to a strip club, Judy. And
So when did you start working with Carlin?
oh, okay. Well,
A legend.
well, yeah. Oh my God, I worshipped him.
Yeah.
And by the way, when I was growing up as a little girl, that was the only comedian my parents would allow us to listen to his albums because Richard Pryor was too, my parents felt, too edgy.
For Catholics, yeah.
And Catholics and George Carlin, but I used to die laughing at George Carlin.
Yeah.
I could relate to, and the nuns and all that.
Yeah,
And anyway, so what happened was George Carlin saw my Diet Dr. Pepper commercials. Wait, let me think. No, he did not. He saw I started to get a real big buzz because my HBO special, Women of the Night, was coming out. So his manager called my manager and asked, would Judy be interested in opening for George Carlin? I go, don't even finish that.
Right.
I'm there.
Yeah.
And it was I was so happy that we did a big concert hall in Chicago, and my parents got to come and meet him, and they were so excited. And
he's a genius.
Yeah.
He's so witty and so smart in his comedy. It's like
yeah. So anyway, but he was so nice to me and so great. We used to have a lot of fun in the limo on the way to the show. We both loved doing voices. Like he'd say, "Hey, Dan," and I go, "Yeah, pig, come in." We would do our different voices, and we just had a lot of fun. Yeah. No, it was just an honor, and it was great. Yeah. And so that happened in the summer of 1987. In fact, this is what a great mensch he was. We did our first show, and we come back to and by the way, he's another generous one. He put me, I call us the collective me, with my 8 personalities, also in the Plaza Hotel.
Wow.
And he had a suite, down the hall, and I was in it. And then he calls me at like 11 at night, and he goes, Jude, I had to call you because, I just got the New York Times.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a review of Women of the Night, and you got a glowing review. And he read it to me. He read it.
Oh my God!
Wow.
It's George Carlin reading. I'm like, what? I was so on. I go, oh my God, you don't know what this means to me. George Carlin is reading,
reading your review.
Yeah. It was so great. I was so honored. I will never forget that as long as I live.
Well, I think we have a clip of him actually.
Every now and then, somebody breaks through. They do break through to a new level, and they become a threat to all of us. This category is about all of us. Now, 7 nights a week, young comedians are working in comedy clubs, sometimes for just bus fare, sometimes for less. And from these clubs come performers like Robin Williams, Jay Leno, and David Letterman. Well, there's a lot more where those 3 came from. So tonight, the first award goes to the funniest female comedy club stand-up comic, and Judy Tenuta.
I want to ask you a question. Come closer to the goddess. Come closer. How many of you ever started dating someone because you were too lazy to commit suicide? Because I'm a cross between a macho and a sensitive man. I said, oh, like a gay trucker?
And the female comedy club stand-up comic of the year is JUDY TENUTA.
Gorgeous.
Oh,
I love that joke about suicide.
Oh, this is so sudden.
that's my favorite word of mine.
Yes,
I love that.
I just want to thank you for this award, but I'd also like to say that I would trade it for a minute. In a minute, if I could just be a wife and mother. I want to get fucked up by some stud sanitation worker. I'm not kidding. When I look at you stud puppets, I want to release my eggs. I just want to say, I want to say to all the other women in my category,
Suffer!
Oh, that's amazing.
Do you remember that moment?
What?
Do you remember that very vividly?
Oh my! Oh, are you kidding me?
Because it was a huge deal.
How
Some
could
people-
I not? How
Some
could
people don't remember it. Like they blank
Yeah,
out.
for
They
a
like, you know, it's like they're so in the moment. They like
Excuse me, I'm not senile.
no, no. No, but you know, like when people win an Oscar or something, like they go backstage and then you talk to them, they're like, "Oh my god, I don't remember a thing." It was like,
Yeah, it's like so exciting, overwhelming.
No. They're a little bit in shock, and of course, but of course they remember the experience. Don't be
Yeah.
ridiculous. Yeah, of course.
yeah. And to get it from Carlin, like that's huge.
Oh, yeah. Well, that meant so much to me because I opened for him and I worked with him, and yeah.
Yeah, that was amazing. That was so funny too. And then again, we went back. You were talking earlier about your diet, Dr. Pepper. I love Dr. Pepper, by the way. But you were doing. I was drinking some last night. You did these Dr. Pepper commercials, and you were talking about the production value of them. They were like mini movies. And how did that happen with this Dr. Pepper collaboration?
Well, I was very lucky. Well, I mean, it also had to do with the fact that, you know, I was very memorable when, so the agent from Young and Rubicam saw my HBO special, Women of the Night. He called my manager, and he said, hey, listen, you know, I got to say, I love Judy. I think she's so unique and great. And I don't want to brag about myself, but he was
Yeah.
And so my manager goes, yeah, well, I think Judy would be perfect for he said, we're looking for someone a little bit, you know, quirky like her, a little bit, but she's pretty, but quirky. And so we'd really so I got signed to do these. I mean, that was a huge, I remember when those came out. I lived in Oak Park, Illinois. I was still living with my parents.
Wow.
I had this, you know, all this stuff, and I will never forget one night I got a phone call, and people could find my phone number, and I was getting phone calls.
Oh.
And I would just get, so we had to change my number.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, because
Dates? They want a date?
Well, yeah, guys would call and like, hey,
I want to be your pig.
well, they also wanted free Diet Dr. Pepper. So.
I love Diet Dr. Pepper. It tastes just like regular Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, well, I love it. Did you ever have it? Did you ever heat it up when you had a cold? It's good too.
No, really? Wow.
Well, don't forget I was from Chicago, so we would heat it up and have it. Oh, it was good.
Oh, really? I had some last night, but I should try heating it.
No, not. You're in the desert.
Hot, too hot.
Yeah, no.
Judy,
Just have it ice cold with ice cream.
Okay.
Oh, that's good. You have
Yeah.
such amazing lines. Do you sit down to write? Do you just find it on stage? How do you a little bit of everything?
No, I mean, there's various things. Usually the thing that helps me,
Yeah.
comedy is really tragedy. It
Plus
really
time.
is something that hurt you. Like
Yeah.
I got hurt real bad, or I'm angry about something. So in other words, it's really great therapy for a comedian. We're really working out our problems. So what it is I'm going all the way back to my childhood, and I'm talking about, So I'm in I went to this all-girls punk rock school, St. Obnoxious in bondage. Sister Godzilla. And I talk about whatever I talk about, and then I talk about, of course, breakups. Do you know this is a funny story. Can I just share this?
Sure.
During the pandemic, didn't you get calls from people that you hadn't heard from in years, and they just want to see who you are?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a good story. The pandemic had just happened. It was around, the middle of March, the end of March, something like that. I get a call from my ex, who I haven't seen. And by the way, it's not emo. It's the guy.
Is it emo?
I don't want people to think emo did this, because emo's a great comedian, and we had. But this was a different guy after him, and I'm not going to say his name.
Okay.
It rhymes with fist fucker. Anyway. So anyway.
I know him.
Yeah, I would think he would. Anyway, so he not a famous guy at all. Nobody. He just. Anyway, so I get a call from him, and I hadn't spoken to him in years, and I don't really want to talk to him. Anyway, he calls me like, "Oh, Judy, I just wanted to talk to you for a minute." And I go, "Oh, all right." And I just thought, it's the pandemic. Everybody's wanting to see how people, whatever. What did he say to me? He goes, "Oh, I really have to ask you a question. Like, I got to tell you, it really hurt my feelings when you were doing jokes about your ex, and that and I go, let me stop you right there, dick. First of all, what you did to me doesn't compare at all to what I said. By the way, you were dating a comedian, fuck Palace. What did you think? What did you think was going to happen? And by the way, I was like, I hurt your feelings. Great, because I didn't think you had any. Thank you for telling me. I said, I thought you were just calling me to ask for money like you usually did. Great. Thank you so much. Okay, bye. I mean, isn't that fucked up?
That is.
Oh my God.
It's funny that you let him have it, though, because that's so great.
I said, okay, wait a minute. Instead of saying, Judy, it was an honor to be, which he should have, he got to go to the Playboy Mansion, everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's huge.
And he was an ungrateful bastard. So, but then to get this call,
years later.
Yes. I go, excuse me, Dick Palace.
Dick Palace.
I didn't know you had feelings. I heard your feelings. That's the best news I've heard in 10 years. I thought you were just calling to ask for money, like you.
That's hilarious.
Oh my God.
I love that you're like this tough, ballsy woman, and I love that you just have no filter with that. But speaking of that, and speaking of Dr. Pepper, let's show that clip because there's a lot of moments in that kind of captures the same voice.
Oh, I love those.
Easy being a pretty flower. Sometimes you gotta sweat like a sow. But you know how I pamper myself. I drink Diet Dr. Pepper. Oh, I'm glad I pumped up. It's so good. It's got a taste that'll please without the calories. And let's face it, you can't get a body like mine in a bottle unless you push real hard.
Diet Dr. Pepper, like nothing else.
Oh,
He's a flower. And in my profession, when you want to maintain a goddess-like figure but still indulge yourself, only one drink will do. Diet Dr. Pepper. Oh, it's unique. Nice. Gotta roll. Gotta get down to the local food chain.
Diet Dr. Pepper, nothing else.
Yeah, makes me feel like a woman. You know what scares me?
Oh my God.
Nice to some whacked out Looney Tune just because she lives in your body. Then you have to share your thoughts with her and your drinks. That's why I buy 2 cans of Diet Dr. Pepper. She likes the unique taste. I like the way it keeps her from turning into a big old bull moose. Down, bossy!
Diet Dr. Pepper, like nothing else.
Oh my goodness.
Attention, macho men! How would you like to worship the goddess? Like these beefy burritos of manhood! First, give me your worldly possessions! Yeah! Like you'll miss that chainsaw! Then, drink Diet Dr. Pepper. It's not a wimped out diet drink, no! Its unique taste turns mere mortals into my personal love slaves! It can happen.
Diet Dr. Pepper, like nothing else.
I love
That
it.
is amazing. Now I want a Diet Dr. Pepper.
And you're so dominating too. Like, so.
Oh, yeah.
It's awesome. Like, I love it. Did you have fun doing those, Judy?
have we been on for 3 hours now? We've been
No,
on for a
no.
long time.
Since you brought him up, I want to ask, so how was it dating Emo Phillips? 2 comedians dating each other? Is it like...
No.
No?
No. No, I mean, we didn't date. It was like we met at airports and we did shows. But I learned a lot. He was the one who said to me, Judy, you've got to write. You got to write jokes,
Yeah.
So yeah, he was very helpful. He's great.
He's so creative. He comes up with stuff that's like, it's genius. I never taking these turns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So anyways, we're going to wrap it up, but you're going to be honored at the Palm Springs International Comedy Festival. October 11th through the 18th. And, it's great to have you drop by the show and talk to you and catch up, but tell people, where they can catch up with you. You're completely active on TikTok all the time.
Oh my God, so much TikTok.
I'm on TikTok. But I post all of those on Facebook. On Instagram is great. Instagram and also Twitter. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Yeah. And so you can see all that it's at Judy Tenuta.
It's all down on the bottom, yeah.
Yeah.
Before you go, my favorite TikTok is when you do Melania.
No, it's Melania.
I'm sorry,
Melania.
Did you see? I'm Malaria. Did you see me when I was during the Republican convention? And it took me 7 hours to walk down the hallway. And of course, I had on my bitch face.
Oh my God. You guys, if you want to see more of Judy, it's been a blast just hanging out with you and talking about all of this and catching up and going through your career. But you have got to check out her social media. It's hilarious. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I mean, it's Twitter. It's every day you make me laugh. So thank you so much for joining us. And
So much.
we'll see you soon at the Palm Springs International Comedy
Yes.
Festival.
Hey, woohoo!